Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So, lots going on in the market at the moment, and the dollar is definitely still looking relatively strong. And if you look at the 8-hour, this week has been big down, big up, lots of confusion here. There is more data coming out today. There was data yesterday which kind of got us going and then sort of failed. But for me at the moment, there's a crossover of the moving averages here, so this is starting to look like a setup, a more bearish setup at the moment, which leans towards dollar strength, which that in itself is not something I believe right now because there's just way too much noise for dollar weakness. So I am very much looking at this point here, which is 109,285. We have not, we've rejected it a couple of times. We've found support here in the past, but yesterday we did this, and that is something that I'm not interested in trading. So see if we can get back into this area for rejection and a move down. Alternatively, what we are looking at here is we're looking at a break of yesterday's low and a retest of it before we start looking for an opportunity to the downside. And you'd be wise to be paying attention to this on the 15-minute. Look at this chaos. As I said, started getting going with the data, started getting going the other way, and then just complete confusion. So I'm really would like to see the breaks to the downside here, 108,977 before I even start looking at this. There are a few gaps to the downside here as well. I definitely don't want to be coming in and just jumping in short at the moment. So that's kind of a sit on hand scenario, unfortunately, and we do have the Fed minutes later, so that's probably the wisest thing to do. Looking at US dollar Japanese yen, if I listen to noise in the market, this thing should be forming a top, and obviously we don't listen to noise, we look at the structure. This was a bit of a retest yesterday. I don't think it's a decent retest though. And if you look at the hour, you can see what I mean by that. There's the engulfing bar. Trend is still very much to the upside, but we are forming lower highs here. Okay, you can see high, lower high, lower high. So I'd be very cautious with this one. Definitely don't want to be jumping in long at the moment. So we'll wait for the data this afternoon to see what's going to happen. If I look at the indexes, there's so much confusion there, and if I look at what's happening on the dollar, there's even more confusion. So I'm just going to wait on the dollar. Moving on to pound, we do have British CPI today, so that could get things moving. Pound yen, I still believe we need a pullback on structure, and this is the structure I would be looking for, 184.048. And if you look at this on the hour, you can see fairly decent area for support. But looking at the oscillators on the hour, obviously somebody knows something about the data coming out, and probably going to find some support here at 184.659. Rather wait for the data before doing that, but you'd want to do that. Get onto the 15 minutes, pick a pound pair that you want to be playing, go figure out when the data is coming out, and just give it the first 15 minutes after the data is released just to settle down, and then you should see the structure form, and then you can trade this thing. Whether it's going to be down, as it says on the 15 minutes, or whether we're going to move back to the upside, as it says on the higher time frames, that is to be debated. But there's definitely an opportunity for you to get a trade in on this one. So it could be a fact that we are tired now and we're finished at the upside, or if you believe the oscillators on the hour in the upward trend, we're looking for an area to buy for another big squirt up. So that's the more logical setup that I can see, and the only thing that worries me on the 8 hours oscillators group the upside, and I would expect a deeper pullback before that happens. So that could also set up a nice deep pullback with an opportunity to buy for a bigger pull up move to the upside. So well worth watching pound Japanese yen at the moment. Lastly, euro British pound. So it's been big up, big down on a weekly basis now. So for me at the moment, you look at the weekly, It's just an area of consolidation, but crossover of all the moving averages and a rejection of the 155. So this is looking fairly interesting. And if we do get going to downside, I think you'll have a week or two of downside movement. So looking at the hour, lots of confusion as with all the other currency pairs, but ultimately we need to be rejecting this area here, and you can see this bar this morning is not a rejection bar there, so I don't trust it at all. Drop down to the 15 minutes, and the reason why that, you can see we've closed above there, and I don't see anything else except for this pin bar, which we just missed. So that's probably what you need to be paying attention to. 085922. Don't do anything until the data comes out. Wait for the data, but the trend is down, so probably going to see a fairly strong move to the downside here. If I look at that, data may surprise us and then get us moving to the upside, but then you need to wait for breaks above yesterday's highs and retest before you start looking for the longs. Anyway, that's kind of my view for today. Hope it helps somewhat. I know trading is getting really, really difficult at the moment. So much confusion in the market, no real direction, no real structure. So it's difficult to get in on trades when it's like that. But it will settle. The dust will settle shortly, and it will get easier again. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.